Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're watching this. I hope that you've had a lovely few weeks, and I'm sorry that it's taken so long to put a video up. It's been a busy and also a tough year, the start of the year this year, for different reasons, personal reasons and other things. Close family member died, yeah, just trying to get through, normal work stuff, etc. Anyway, committed to try and get back to this. So hopefully this video is going to come out okay, because I just did a playback a second ago, just about 2.5 minutes that I recorded, and for some reason it was half and half of the screen and it was all weird. Anyhow, so I've been working on a Pathlight, a new type. Oh, and by the way, I'm holding the camera because the frame is broken on my GoPro for like the third time, even though I only use it in here, which is kind of ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to show you the Pathlight that we've machined. So here we have the top and bottom. So I'm going to talk about a couple of the changes that have been made to this to try and improve. Generally, like these things are going to get transferred over to spikes, etc. So first thing is, on the top there's this rounded edge. It's actually more of a chamfer at the moment. But either way, we've got slightly radius corners. Makes it much more comfortable to hold, to grip, and to undo or do up, which is nice. On both of these inside, on the top and the bottom, we've got now 1mm threads instead of 2mm threads, just because I feel that they go together better. I've adjusted the recess inside here, generally actually because, not particularly on this one, but on the normal spike tops, what we're going to have is we're going to have much more interchangeability with optics, and the idea is that I needed to machine out a bit more space just to get some of the bigger optics in. On the bottom, for this particular Pathlight bottom, so we had to make it quite tall. It's slightly taller than usual. So if I grab a raw bottom, here we go. So this is a raw bottom with the old 2mm thread on it. It's not been sanded or anything yet, but you can kind of see the height difference. There's a bit of a height difference there, and that was to allow for the fact that the hole is actually coming out the side here rather than the bottom. That's to give us a different angle. So I'm just going to quickly just show you how that goes together. At the moment that's just been anodised, so that's why it's a bit wet. I'll just do a dry assembly, kind of give you an idea of what to expect with this fitting. If I can find a ball joint, we'll just have to use it. Excuse me, I have to use a raw one. It hasn't been finished, and that's fine. So what we do, that's this little bit here isn't meant to be there, but it's not going to affect us from assembling this. So I'll screw this together. Now that will go on there. This will go like that. That's going to screw on there. And I'm just going to get a black one out just for the whole continuity of what it looks like at the moment. It's actually going to be green. But here we go. Right. Okay. So so this is basically the way the new path top will be. So if you can imagine, there's another spike that screws into the bottom of this. In fact, I'm going to get it for you. I'm going to get it. There's green. There we go. It's going to be all multicoloured now. Right. There we go. Right. So that is your fitting. So you have your screwed in section here that that would be whatever colour the entire fitting would be. It wouldn't be all different colours here. That goes in the ground, and it goes into the ground really either to sort of like where the line is here, or if you wanted the cable, because the cable exit is here. So if you wanted the cable to come out underground, you could obviously bring this a little bit deeper. Personally, I would just say just bring it out just at this line, which gives you more than enough stability. And then we have a 400mm pole at the moment, and now that could be made at any length, but 400mm is our limit on our powder coat size. So if it needed to be longer, we'd have to basically sectionalize it. So we'd probably either have 4 300 or 200 mil sections that screw together. It kind of depends on what length the client wants. So, you know, we could make this any length we wanted to, in theory, just by sectionalising it. And then we have our head. So you can see this is sort of dropping down at the moment. That's because there's no spring or anything behind it. Normally there's a spring that fits in here that will hold it in place, and everything's obviously just loosely assembled. But the idea is that the light points downwards like this. So we're going to have our light outputting downwards. We could, you know, you could bring it up like that if you wanted to, but generally the idea of this design is that we could point the light down. We can use a wide reflector on this to give us a 75-degree output. The client has asked for as wide as possible, and I at the moment have discussed excuse me, and at the moment I've discussed 75 degrees as a wide reflector. You could do LED direct to the front, which would give us about 90 degrees. Doesn't give us the full 110 that the LED does, because the LED is still, even though we say right to the front, it's not going to be completely to the front, because there is the acrylic seal that goes on the front, which puts the optic about 8mm back. Sorry, the LED about 8mm back. So it kind of restricts the view a little bit. So it's about 90 degrees with the LED straight on the front. But the thing is that the LED straight on the front on its own is not as bright as having the reflector, because the reflector helps push the light that's lost to the sides forward. So, and in fact, I'm going to go and grab the optic and just quickly show you. Now we'll take the camera over. But the workshop's a mess, and I don't particularly want to put that on film. So anyway, this is the that's normally our medium optic. That's the optic we use for most of our spike lights, etc. This one's a wide optic, so this one's 53 degrees, this one's 75 degrees. You can kind of see, if you see the difference in height there. And then this is our standard acrylic top. Now this one isn't, this one's just a temporary we've used because it didn't pass. As you can see, there's a little chip in the top here, but you get the idea. I mean, basically it's got a centering ring here, and that centers up, well, it's meant to center up inside this, and that goes in the top there, and then basically, I'll tell you what, I'll quickly assemble it. There we go. And there's no ring that goes on that, obviously, to give us our seal, but I mean, that's what I mean by this little bit of acrylic that's on the front. You couldn't get the LED all the way forward, so that's kind of why yeah, you're restricting the view. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to get on, we're going to powder coat, we're going to prep and powder coat this. It's got to go in the oven to pre-bake first. Well, probably go for an ultrasonic clean first, then pre-bake in the oven, then we're going to go for a powder coat. We're going to use some green parts, and I think we've already got some green parts in here, so we've got some green tool rods, etc. we can use. You know, we can try and sort of machine and keep sort of parts in stock, etc. Doesn't always work. I mean, there's our green. I think our black is here at the moment, and I think these need to be re-powder coated. These need to be re-powder coated, and there's a few things that that are no longer relevant in here. I don't know if anyone saw any stories on some on a tabletop light I did ages ago, which was this, and it was a closed top, and the light wasn't that good, so I did this version for a moonlight, and actually this top works better for the for a tabletop light. Although I don't know, would people buy a black tabletop light? I mean, these were just sort of prototypes. I mean, I was thinking probably if you can do like tabletop lights, probably going to be something like brass or copper or something like that. Of course, someone probably will ask me, oh Chris, can you do a stainless steel one, which I will dread, because stainless steel has always as ever been a pain in the bum when it comes to machining. But yeah, we'll get around it.